Sometimes it's just good to be home. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. Phillies, nice win. Nice win. That felt good. That felt very good. 9-2 win over the San Diego Padres. Kyle Schwarber does Kyle Schwarber things in June. Smacks 2 home runs. Alec Boehm has a nice 3-run shot in there. Marchan, he gives a nice little, 4-for-4 day in the 9-hole. Had a couple of RBIs in there as well. Fantastic day for Rafael Marchan. Trey Turner back in the lineup as well. He had a few hits in this game too. The entire Phillies lineup was just hitting in this game. The top of the lineup was hitting. Everyone was driving in runs. The power was there. Christopher Sanchez was really good. Everything was really good. It maybe just seemed like this Phillies, they just needed to come home. They just needed to come home. Now, granted, it's only one game to start the series. Anything could happen in the next 2 games. But they looked good. They looked good. They looked comfortable. And that's the most important thing. Alec Boehm, he's back. He is absolutely back. 3-for-5 day. He's just getting that average back up to where it should be for him. Kyle Schwarber continues to mash now, which is a great sign for this ball club. I keep saying that, but it is a fantastic sign for this ball club. He is starting just to hit. He's doing everything now. The home runs, seeing pitches, walking, getting on base, smacking the ball. This is what Kyle Schwarber's supposed to do, and he's doing it with a 253 batting average. With a 253 batting average and a 373 on base. Great stuff. Great stuff. Trey Turner basically kept up right where he left off. Nice to see that. 2-for-5 day there for Trey. Definitely looked like he wasn't giving it his all. On the base pass, he wasn't going full throttle, which is very understandable coming back from a hamstring injury. Definitely, don't mind that from Trey Turner. And, just take it one day at a time, but it is nice to see him get a couple of hits in there, just, to get the rust off from being off for so long. Bryce Harper had a couple of hits in there. Basically, everybody but David Dahl had a hit in the lineup today that was really good. Marchan was just fantastic today. Just finding a way to chip in. Finding a way to chip in. The power was there for the boys. Kyle Schwarber gets you started, and Alec Boehm with a couple of runners on. Just crushes one when the Padres probably should have went to the bullpen. Once again, Christopher Sanchez dealing with a very terrible umpire behind the plate because, oh my God, he was not giving him strikes whatsoever. Then I saw one of the most egregious pitches in the world, which was, I forget who it was batting for the Phillies. I think it was Bryce. I firmly believe it was Bryce Harper. Here is the strike zone. Here's the strike. Actually, let me frame it for you better. So here is the strike zone. Here's the strike down here. Bryce didn't offer at it. Umpire just straight up called it a strike. And there were some pitches down low, like right on the black, that weren't being called for Christopher Sanchez. So that's what, like 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row, 3 series in a row at this point, where the Phillies are dealing with terrible umpiring behind the plate. Should I be surprised? No, I shouldn't be surprised, but I feel like I'm always surprised because it's just insane how bad these umpires are. It really just is insane how bad these umpires are. But I guess that's what you got to deal with. I love the way Marchan is playing right now, even though it's a very small sample size. He's had some good moments in stints where he was called up, which is very good to see. And I know this is probably a stretch, but I wouldn't be shocked if, I think we brought this up in the last recap, in yesterday's recap, that I wouldn't be shocked if Marchan becomes the full-time backup catcher at some point, whether it's next season or something like that. I can fully see that happening. But he's never going to have days like this, all the time. He's not going to go 4-for-4 all the time, 4 singles. He was just putting bat on ball, and the ball was finding good spots. And sometimes you just need that from your 9-hole hitter, and that's exactly what Marchan gave you today. It was just some good, good overall. Nick Castellanos actually was really good. He had a couple of extra base hits in this game, which was nice to see. He went freaking over in the entire Baltimore series, so it was nice for him to make some hard contact and actually get rewarded for the hard contact. So that's good. Bryson, Stott, He had a hit in today's game, but still showed some ugly signs there. Some good defense overall from the Phillies today. They played some spectacular defense. I believe Stott robbed Tatis early in the ball game. It was a liner right back up the middle, and he just jumped up into the air and caught it. So good stuff defense there by Stott. He's always going to have good defense. This is what this Phillies team just needed. This is what this Phillies team just needed. They needed some home cooking. They were on the road for a long, long time, an insanely long time. They go into a different country for a few days. Then they come back, and then they immediately got to go back on the road to Boston, to Baltimore, playing, a really good team in Baltimore and a team that, is not as bad as people think they are, but they're playing in a very tough division in the Boston Red Sox, hovering around 500, but they're still a scrappy team, and they're a team that can beat anybody on any given day. So, yeah, you put yourself on a tough pedestal right there, and it does suck that the Mets are on a tear right now, basically, since that London series, but because they got to go home, and you had to go right on the road, so there's definitely something to it, but, came home today against a team that you have been playing very good against over the past couple of seasons, really since honestly, I would say for the past couple of seasons, really since the NLCS in 2022, you really just basically been owning this team, which is a really good thing to see. And yeah, you just looked really good. You look comfortable. You look confident. That's basically all it was. And everyone was, overreacting. Everyone was panicking, and, this team was going to be fine. Now, like I said, it's only one game into the series. We don't know what's going to happen in the next two. This could be good old-fashioned Phillies, to where they score 9 runs in one game and then they go quiet the next night. But I think with this Phillies offense, now that they're getting healthier and the guys in the top of the lineup, they look confident right now. I can see them, putting together a good series right here. They aren't facing the best part of the San Diego Padres, rotation. They are playing Michael King tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. He's been solid for them, but I still think he's a pitcher the Phillies can handle very nicely here. And you got Aaron Nola on the mound tomorrow, where I'm sure he's definitely going to bounce back from his very bad outing against the Boston Red Sox. And Christopher Sanchez, he was really good today as well. Major bounce back from his outing against the Boston Red Sox. Goes 7 strong innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run allowed, 2 runs total, but one of them was on an error. I believe it was by Brandon Marsh out there in the outfield. Brandon Marsh was playing center field today, so Johan Rojas, he got sent down to AAA, which probably was going to be the obvious sign there. Even though I didn't think that was going to happen, it was still kind of in the back of my mind. That was probably the most obvious thing they were going to do. Trey Turner comes back to the roster. They got to send somebody down. They weren't going to lose David Dahl and Christian Pache for nothing, so it makes sense to send somebody down that has an option on their contract, and that's exactly what happened with Johan Rojas. So right now, looks like Brandon Marsh most likely will be the center fielder right now, unless they get Pache into the lineup there against the lefties. So that's definitely going to be something interesting right there to see what they do. It does look like Edmundo Sosa is out there learning the outfield, which most likely will be the case. So I guess if it's against lefties, either they'll put Pache out there in center field and Sosa will play left field, most likely something like that, unless they keep Marsh out there in center field even against lefties. So it's definitely something to monitor. I don't think they're facing any lefties in this series starting pitching-wise for the San Diego Padres, so that's definitely something they can wait a little bit for, so Sosa can just ease in to the left field position so he doesn't have to get rushed into that predicament. So that's definitely good there. But overall, just looking at everything that's shaped out to, what happened here. So the Phillies, they had a chance in the bottom of the first inning. Schwarber with a leadoff walk, then Schwarber got caught stealing during the Alec Bohm at bat to end the inning off there, so nothing really happened. Then Alec Bohm, in bottom of the second inning, the Phillies did have a chance. Alec Bohm with a leadoff single. Nick Castellanos doubled to left center field. Dusty Waffen elected to send Alec Bohm running past third base to try to score there. I'm not sure. It was a close play. It was a really good relay by the Padres infield. And was it bang bang? Would I personally would have sent Alec Bohm there? Probably not, because it would have been 1 out. It would have been a runner on second and third base. And then, Marsh, the very next batter, he reached it on an infield single off of a little bobble there by Cronenworth over at second base. And it probably would have scored Bohm in that factor. So definitely probably a mistake there by Dusty Waffen. But then, another good inning by Christopher Sanchez in the top of the third. You know, a nice throw there by Marchan as well to get the strike him out, throw him out, double play. And then bottom of the third inning, he leads off with a single to lead off for Schwarber with a hanging pitch, 2-0 in the count. Just crushes it into the bullpen. Makes it 2-0 Phillies. They did get a couple of base runners after that. You know, Harper got on. Stott reached in on an infield single. Nothing really happened there. Another good top of the fourth inning for Christopher Sanchez. Bottom of the fourth, Marsh with a leadoff walk. He advances to second base on a wild pitch. David Dahl then grounded out, which forced Marsh over to third base. And then Marchan got himself a nice RBI single, made it 3-0 Phillies. Padres, they did get on the board in the top of the fifth. Machado with an RBI single. Then he managed to reach second base on a fielding error by Brandon Marsh in center. And then Cronenworth, you know, they advanced a couple of runners. Cronenworth grounds out, scores a run. 3-1 Phillies. Then bottom of the fifth, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, they lead off with 2 hits. Turner a single, Harper a double. And then Alec Bohm on the first pitch he sees after a mound visit by the Padres sends it into the flower basket in left field. Makes it 6-1 Phillies, and that's basically the game from there. Sanchez another 1-2-3 inning in the top of the sixth. Bottom of the sixth, Marchand reaches it on an infield single, and then Schwarber does it again. 2-run shot, bullpen, lefty, becomes 8-1 Phillies. Padres, they got another run on the board, but basically that's in garbage time. Top of the seventh inning, Solano with an RBI double. You know, just got to be in between Marsh and Nick Castellanos, scored Profar. And then bottom of the seventh inning, Marchand got that run back with the RBI single after a Brandon Marsh double. The Padre in center field tried to make the sliding catch or the diving catch. Wasn't able to come up with the ball in time. So it becomes 9-2 Phillies. And that's basically it from there. Jose Alvarado pitches in the top of the eighth inning, goes 1-2-3. And then top of the ninth inning, Ruiz out there for the Phillies. He goes basically 1-2-3. He allowed a one-out single, but then got a double play to end the inning, to end off the game for the Phils. Lineup in totality, Kyle Schwarber goes 2 for 3, 4 RBIs with 2 two-run shots, and also 2 walks. Fantastic day there for Mr. Schwarber. Trey Turner in his return, he goes 2 for 5. Great stuff there. He scores a run. Bryce Harper, 2 for 5. He scores a run. Alec Bohm, he goes 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs on the day, so that's really good to see from him. Bryson Stott goes 1 for 4. Nick Castellanos, 2 for 4 with a couple of doubles. Brandon Marsh, 2 for 3. David Dahl, over 3. He did have a really deep fly ball to center field that died right at the warning track, so we'll take it for what it was. And then Rafael Marchan, fantastic day at the plate. Goes 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Phillies in total offensively, they had 18 hits. So they definitely were overdue for a day like this. They were 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They left 8 men on base, but that doesn't really matter at the end of the day when you're just hitting a bunch of bombs. Christopher Sanchez was really good. Alvarado, he struck out 1 on 12 pitches in the 8th inning, and then Ruiz allowed a hit, but then, only needed 5 pitches to retire the game right there. So good stuff there. Just overall, from your fighting Phils. Gotta love to see it. In terms of other games that are going on right now, it looks like the Braves just wrapped up with the Detroit Tigers. So who won this game? It was the Atlanta Braves. They did win 2-1. So you don't gain any ground, you don't lose any ground. So that's probably the best possible outcome would have been Atlanta losing to Detroit, but sadly that wasn't the case. The Mets, they're destroying Texas right now. They're winning 11-2. So the Mets are just on an absolute tear right now. After that London series, the Mets right now, they're 33-37. They'll probably be 34-37 after today's game. They'll be on a 6-game win streak. They're 8-2 in their last 10, so they'll be 9-1 in their last 10 after that. So yeah, the Mets are definitely on a hot streak right there. A lot of the teams in the NL East, they're winning some games here. They're definitely winning some games. But you're 8 games above the Braves, you're 12.5 above the Nationals, you're 14 above the Mets, and then the Marlins, they're the Marlins. And then the rest of the league, Milwaukee, 42-29. And then the rest of the NL Central is the NL Central. The Cardinals, they're exactly 500. Pittsburgh, they're 2 games below 500. The Reds, they're 4 games below 500. Same thing with the Chicago Cubs. They're last in the NL Central. So that's very surprising from the Chicago Cubs. I thought their pitching has been pretty good. Probably their offense isn't that good, honest to God. They're also not a good road team. That's very surprising from the Cubs. And then the Los Angeles Dodgers, they're 44-29. Padres, they're 37-39. Giants, and rest of the league right there. The Yankees, The Yankees lost 2 in a row. So, good teams struggle. Good teams struggle. They lost those last 2 games against the Boston Red Sox. So, hey, good teams struggle. Baltimore, they're 47-24. Is Baltimore playing today? I don't think they are. I think they had a day off today. They definitely had a day off today. And that's basically it for the league. There's really nothing else that really sticks out. And nothing really from post-game or anything like that. So that's interesting right there. Yeah. Hey, there's also some interesting stuff right here in terms of the All-Star game, because a lot of the early voting came out from the fan votes, and the Phillies do have a lot of players that are in line to possibly make the All-Star team, which is very interesting from the fan vote. So there definitely, I think there was a sign, one of the posts right here. I got to see like the actual posts just to see what players can be sent. Okay, so here it is. It's from Talkin' Baseball. It's from Talkin' Baseball. So right now, in terms of Phillies that are being voted into the All-Star game. So if we look at catchers, and JT, he might not be good enough to go for the All-Star game in terms of his injury, so he might be voted into the All-Star game, but he might not even be able to play in the All-Star game, if you understand what I mean. So for catchers, JT Realmuto, he is the second most voted catcher right now behind William Contreras. Will Smith is behind JT by like 1,000, so anything could change right there. First baseman Bryce Harper leads by a very wide margin. He has over 1.1 million votes. The second next most voted person is Freddie Freeman at 713,000. So this most likely will be Bryce Harper's first All-Star game appearance in a Phillies uniform, which is very shocking to say for how fantastic Harper has been. This would probably be his first All-Star game in a Phillies uniform. Second baseman Bryson Stott. He's a couple of like 10,000 something away, or a little over that from Ketel Marte. So Ketel Marte and Luis Arraez are leading the way for second baseman in the National League. For third baseman, Alec Boehm is completely destroying the competition in terms of votes right there. Alec Boehm has over 1 million, and then the next best voted guy is Manny Machado at over 267,000. So yeah, Boehm is definitely making the All-Star game with the way that's going. And for shortstops, Trey Turner. For missing 6 weeks, he's still second most voted into the All-Star game. The first best person is Mookie Betts, but who knows if he's even going to play the All-Star game at this point, because he just fractured his hand the other day, so who knows how long he's going to be out for. They're saying it's not season-ending, he doesn't need surgery, but he's going to be out for a bit. So that'll be interesting. Designated hitters, Shohei Ohtani obviously is leading the way there, and Marcell Ozuna is the second most voted there out of the DHs, but then Kyle Schwarber is creeping up right behind him at 435,000. So who knows, maybe Kyle Schwarber can make the All-Star game. And in terms of the outfielders, there's 2 outfielders there for the Phillies. Brandon Marsh is the 5th most voted, and then Nick Castellanos, out of all people, is the 6th most. And then the guy that just got sent down to AAA, Johan Rojas. Johan Rojas is the 7th most voted outfielder there for the fan vote. And then for the rest of the outfielders, Jerickson Profar leads the way. Christian Yelich is 2. Fernando Tatis is 3. Teoscar Hernandez is 4. Then Brandon Marsh 5. Nick Castellanos 6. So looking at this entire list right here, so this is just for basically players that are on the field. The fans don't vote the pitchers and all that stuff, and the Phillies can have way more pitchers in the All-Star game as well, just depending on how it goes. So the Phillies can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of their fielders of the lineup into the All-Star game. That's fucking insane. That is fucking insane. Granted, like I said, JT might not be able to even play because of the injury, but still, he could be voted into the All-Star game. That's insane right there. And just on top of the pitchers that are probably going to be in the All-Star game, Zack Wheeler's going to be in there. He should be in there. Ranger Suarez should be in there. I'm sure Aaron Nola's going to get some type of recognition. Matt Strahm should be in the All-Star game. Jeff Hoffman should be in the All-Star game. They got some pitchers right there that should be in the All-Star game. So the Phillies going to have a lot. And I just named like 5 pitchers right there, and I just, 7 people in the lineup. That's like 12 people. That's like 12 people. And what's the most players that have been voted into the All-Star game by one team? I need to see this. So this entire thing is from Barstool, so the MLB release right here. The top 2 vote getters at each position and top 6 outfielders in each league will be revealed on MLB Network at 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 27th. So this is for the All-Star game. The leading vote getter in each league will receive an automatic spot in their team's starting lineup, while other top vote getters will advance to phase 2 of the voting. If an outfielder is a league's leading vote getter, only the next 4 outfield finalists will move to phase 2. To determine who starts at the 2 remaining spots, phase 2 will begin on June 30th, blah, 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 blah. So that's just going over everything right there. So let's see. I'm just trying to read this entire article right here. The best team in the game is currently dominating the NL All-Star voting. Nothing to see here besides the special year continuing to be formed in lieu of injuries. God's trying to ruin it all. Bryce Harper is leading his league in voting because, of course, he is. Alec Boehm, the RBI machine, is becoming a household name, leading the league with third base votes and holding the 3rd most overall votes in the National League. Trey Turner has been hurt most of the year and still has the 2nd most votes at shortstop. JT Realmuto is currently undergoing the knife on his knee, but still has the 2nd most votes as a catcher, and all 3 of the regular starting outfielders are represented in the ballot, with Castellanos Marsh leading the way. That means 6 Phillies are in phase 2 of the voting, but keep in mind pitchers aren't voting in, they're selected. And pitching is this 2024 Phillies forte. Right now, you got 5 separate pitchers that are worthy of making the Summer Classic, including a choice of 2 that could be starting the damn game. And yeah, they're the pitchers that I pointed out: Zack, Ranger Suarez, Nola, Matt Strom, Jeff Hoffman. Jesus Christ. That could be 11 players. That have a legit chance to be in the All-Star game. And they say right here, gone are the days where the Phillies legends Pat Neshek out Odubel Herrera. Oh boy. The record for most players picked by a single team is 9. In the 1958 is 9 by the 1958 Yankees, and an 8 from the 97 and 03 Atlanta Braves. The Phillies are right there with 11 players. Make it? Who knows? That'll be funny. That'll be fantastic if we can get all those players in the All-Star game. I'm not, guaranteeing it happens. I'm sure some votes will die off, with injuries. JT, he might not get as many votes now. It might go right to Will Smith, but who knows? Who knows what happens? All that matters is, it's a fun stuff here. It's fun stuff. We do have a couple of voicemails here on the Anytime Hotline. We do have one from a new caller, and I don't think this person left their name. So if you do plan on calling again, I do recommend leaving your name or anything like that. If you leave a text, voicemail, just so I could save it for future use if you do call in again, so I could say, hey, so-and-so called it again. So, yeah, let's get to the voicemails here. Let's bring the new guy in here. Let's see, what does the new guy got to say here on this Phillies win?
What's going on? First time leaving one of these here. Nice to see the Phils get back on track when Trey re-enters the lineup. And Kyle Schwarber, baby. Anytime there's a little uneasiness going on with these fans, Kyle Schwarber shuts it up real quick with 2 bombs.
He
and
does.
Alec Boehm is really heating up right now. I mean, he's gave that 3-run jack. Christopher Sanchez, really good outing. I'd like to see Marchan play more. He looked good in the lineup today. And how about that double play for Trey to end it, man? Good to see him get back on track. Go Phils, man.
I agree. Short and simple. Kyle Schwarber, Alec Boehm, Trey Turner, Marchan. Good stuff. Yeah, definitely. It's Schwarber. He's heating up. Yeah, Alec Boehm, definitely, with that series that he had in Baltimore. He did have a day off, I believe, before one of those games, unless it was one of those games in Boston where he had a day off. He's been hitting the ball really well since having that day off. And maybe that day off just did him a little bit of, just get him off the field for a little bit. Maybe just reset his brain. And he just got up there, kept it simple, and he's doing his thing again, which is slapping the ball over the place and knocking in RBIs. Definitely need this version of Alec Boehm for this offense. It's huge for this offense. So, include it with, with the way Kyle Schwarber's hitting right now, with Trey Turner back in the lineup, and then Bryce Harper chipping in, doing his thing. Always good to see. Fantastic stuff. Let's get to Sean here. What does Sean got to say about a nice Phillies win?
Recipes for success for the Phils. Number 1, playing again at Citizens Bank Park. Number 2, playing the San Diego Padres. I mean, it was just a great night all around for the Phillies. I mean, I always say it starts with the pitching. Sanchez was excellent. The offense woke up. Defense made plays behind them. Everybody contributed. I mean, just a big game that they needed. I mean, you needed to get the bats going. You needed to get back in the win column. You needed to stop the bleeding. All those
Oh, cut off.
and all that was going on. Rafael Marchan, it'll never be proven. There's been plenty of players in Major League Baseball that have gone 4 for 4 in a game. I guarantee you nobody had 4 softer hits than Rafael Marchan did tonight. Line drives on the scorebook. And that arm of his, what a it has. I mean, if he can just stay, please have something to work with there in the future. Maybe not necessarily offensively for sure. Solid win for the Titans tonight.
Yeah, I could definitely see something in the future with Marchan, mainly backup catcher perspective, but yeah. I feel like in his short time spents with the Phillies, he's definitely provided some good stuff. He had the home run the other day in Baltimore, and he does have a good defense behind the plate. So let's see his hits right here and how hard they were hit. So Marchan, his first hit of the game, hit 72 off the bat. His second hit, 64 off the bat. Oh God! And then his third hit was 55 off the bat, and then his fourth hit was 75 off the bat. Jesus Christ. So that's a little bit of bat luck there. Let's see what the expected batting averages of these hits are. So the expected batting average of the first one, a 950 batting average, so he just put it in the good spot. His second hit, a expected batting average of 790. The third one, expecting batting average of 250. So, got a little lucky there. And then the next one, an expected batting average of 830. So it doesn't matter how soft he hit it. He put it in good spots. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. Those were some of the softest hits I've ever seen in the world. Oh my God. And think about this. Alec Boehm's home run, he hit it 95 off the bat and had an expected batting average of 970. And it only would have been a home run in 5 ballparks. It would have been a home run in Fenway. It would have been a home run in Cincinnati. It would have been a home run in Houston. Home run, obviously, in Philadelphia. And surprisingly, it would have been a home run in Petco Park. Surprisingly. And then the rest of the ballparks, it would not have been a home run in. So, a little bit of thanks there to Citizens Bank Park for the Phils. For Kyle Schwarber, where were his home runs at? Let's see what about his home runs. His first home run, obviously, was a home run in all 30 parks. And his last home run, let's see. Where are you at there, Mr. Schwarber? Where are you at there? Where's the other home run? The second home run was a homer in 21 of 30 ballparks. The ballparks where it wouldn't have been a home run, and this is Schwarber's second home run, it wouldn't have been a home run in Chase Field, Fenway, Colorado, Detroit, Houston, Kauffman in Kansas City, Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and Texas. Interesting. Very interesting. Always nice little details right there. Always nice little ones. And if we're looking at the rest of this series right here, between the Phils and the Padres, I believe Aaron Nola is the starter for tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So the pitching matchup in totality, yep, it is Aaron Nola. He is going up against Michael King. Michael King is 5-4 with a 3.58 ERA. Definitely someone the Phillies can handle. His past 2 starts, Michael King, he only went 5 innings. He did go 7 innings against the Kansas City Royals, but then 5 innings, 6 2/3 innings. He's definitely someone the Phillies can handle. I would not be shocked about that. And then for Aaron Nola, just, bounce back from his start against the Boston Red Sox. That's basically it. And then for Wednesday, that's an afternoon game at 1 o'clock. That'll be Ranger Suarez going up against Matt Waldron. Matt Waldron has the knuckleball. So interesting stuff there. How will the Phillies deal with the knuckleball? Then the Phillies will have a day off on Thursday. And then they play the Arizona Diamondbacks this weekend. Taijuan Walker, Zack Wheeler, and Christopher Sanchez will be on the mound for that series. So yeah, good stuff there from the Titans. And Mets update, they're winning 12-2. They're winning 12-2 over the Texas Rangers. Jesus Christ. John Gray. Oh my God, he got rocked. He allowed 9 earned runs. Oh my God. Brandon Nimmo had a home run. DJ Stewart had a home run. Brandon Nimmo has 4 RBIs. Lindor has 2 RBIs. Pete Alonso has 2. DJ Stewart has 3. So the top of the lineup for the Mets is doing all the damage. Jesus. Jesus. Interesting. Definitely interesting there. But yeah, good stuff. Can't really complain. Can't really complain. Don't think there's anything else here on the Twitterverse. Don't think there's anything else here on the Twitterverse. Oh God, people. Now people are posting with the Schwarber home runs. Hoagie Fest at Wawa started today, so that's probably the reason why Schwarber went off. Schwarber Fest. Got to start Schwarber Fest at some point. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh man, and then so there was Alex Coffey that said Hoagie Fest started today. Then Matt Gill followed up saying, "Be honest, have you ever purchased a hoagie from Wawa in your life?" If you haven't purchased a hoagie from Wawa during Hoagie Fest, you're kind of missing out. And Wawa doesn't have the best hoagies in the world, doesn't have the best sandwiches in the world, you know. Even though I'm not like the biggest hoagie guy, I mean, I normally go for like at Wawa. I don't know, you know. I'll just go for like some of their, their chicken sandwiches or something like that, or maybe like their meatball sub or something like that. Not the biggest hoagie guy in the world, definitely not. But never pass up Wawa. Good stuff. And especially if you go to Wawa, get a smoothie, get a couple pretzels. Wawa pretzels are very underrated. They're very good pretzels. You should definitely get yourself a pretzel from Wawa. This is not sponsored. Not sponsored at all. My small ass channel definitely ain't getting sponsored by Wawa. I'm just pointing it out there. No sponsorship right there. The only sponsorship I got is this, TTP Sports code at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase. It's a good deal, by the way. Get yourself down to the ballpark in case you want to. Yeah. Yeah, like I had pretzels in the mind because my parents, they had a funeral today, and my dad, when they came home, my dad was like, because they came home, they got a bunch of like, dessert stuff like from the bakery or something like that, randomly. And my dad was like, thought of you when we were out. So stopped at the Center City Pretzel Company, got some pretzels. I'm like, thanks. Thanks for thinking about me. Thanks for thinking about your only son. Oh, man. Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Definitely. And also great stuff by the Phillies. Can't deny it. Can't deny it. They definitely needed a game like this. They needed a feel-good game. Needed a game to get all their confidence back. A game where they just score a bunch of runs. 100% needed that. 100%. So, yeah. I think, that'll do it for tonight. So, like, what's the docket for so? We got the 2 Phillies games tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm debating about... I'll probably just do a normal recap tomorrow. I'm like debating it like in the side by head about either I should save the recap for Wednesday since it's a quick turnaround, because tomorrow's 6:40 game and Wednesday 1 o'clock game, definitely a quick turnaround there, but I probably won't. Thursday's an off day. Honestly, I kind of hope that the Edmonton Oilers, the Stanley Cup Final Game 5 is tomorrow. I kind of hope Edmonton kind of extends the series a little bit to Game 6. That would be nice. Just so there's something extra. Even though I don't think they would play on Thursday, they probably don't, because I think every day now, with the rest of these finals games, it's every 2 days or something like that. So if Edmonton Florida, they play tomorrow. If Edmonton wins, Game 6 is on Friday, and if somehow they extended the 7 games, Game 7 would be on Monday. So kind of sucks in that perspective. But then also, if it does go to Game 7, the NHL draft is only at the end of that week. So, Sean, getting closer and closer towards the NHL draft. About over a little under, basically under 2 weeks at this point. So, getting closer, getting very closer. See who the Flyers draft. I know you're excited about the draft, Sean. I know you're excited because you keep talking about it. I know you're excited. What else? No, I don't think that there's anything else here. So, I think this is where we'll end it today, everybody. I appreciate all you guys here that joined in the live feed. Zack, always nice seeing you from the Brodes Discord. Always nice seeing that. I've seen enough from Garrett Stubbs. Give Marchan a shot. Definitely, I'm sure they'll interchange more. I think they'll interchange games. Definitely. All-Star game has and will never be the same since the interleague play came into fruition. What was the difference between what because it was since it made it more special because then it would be national. I guess I don't know. Should also let the players wear their team jerseys in the All-Star. Yeah, I do agree with that. I hate that they got rid of that. I kind of do. Like, wear the special jerseys during the home run derby like you used to do, and then go to the regular jerseys during the game. I kind of hate that they switched it around. Yep, good offense. Bazooka Marchan. When you put the ball in play, you can get cheap hits. They all look like line drives on the stat sheet. Oh, man. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. So, I appreciate you guys here for hopping in, tuning in. So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Does me a great deal of service, everybody. Also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.